a new welcome. We're back at home. We're going live, FCTV. Hello, everybody. Welcome to FCTV's Poetic License. This is the June 2023 version of it, and we are live, like the phoenix rising from the ashes of the pandemic that we've been through. We are finally back live in the studio, and it feels so wonderful. Just a little bit of history. In 2019, August it was, Alice Kachemba and Andrew Richards this was their brainchild to bring Poetic License to FCTV. And of course, we know what happened once the pandemic came, but we have been live through Zoom. And unfortunately, a lot of our participants, or fortunately, were from far away, New York City, New Jersey, Montana, all over the country. And we are looking and hoping that eventually we'll be able to have some of those people come visit us with some kind of hybrid version going on. My name is Donna Shear, by the way, and it's my pleasure and privilege to be hosting Poetic License. Tonight's suggested theme is soaring. Let's see. I'm going to get right to my first poem. Oh, no, you know what? I forgot. It's FCTV's 30th anniversary year. Yay! Woohoo! And first of all, that's wonderful. There's all kinds of things going on to celebrate. The other thing is FCTV would appreciate support, financial support, performance support you're already bringing. But I'd like to tell you, it's a bargain. Single memberships are still only $30 for a whole year, and there's a lot of nice perks that come along with it. So if you want to support FCTV, that's a great way to do it. Okay, performers, so lovely to see your smiling faces. Thank you for coming to share your talents and your creative voices with us on FCTV. I'm going to start us off with a poem. Could you tell your neighbor what your favorite equipment was on the playground when you were growing up? Go ahead, just real quick. Tell them what was the thing you always went to, your go-to. Go ahead. I'm hearing all kinds of answers. Of course, I wanted to fly when I was little. That was my biggest dream. So it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. And that's the name of my first poem. The epigraph is Crafting the Perfect Taradiddle. And a taradiddle is a fib. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Long black hair swoops the air like a midnight broom. Hoping to land on cloud 9, I swing higher and higher. To the discordant tune of squeaky hinges, I sing jabberwocky words. One lone unknown child watches me. Her head ping-pongs as she listens, mesmerized. What kind of song is that? It's Japanese. But you don't look Japanese. Well, that's because they had to operate on my eyes before they let me into the country. She digests that. What about your parents? Oh, they had to do it too. Can I see them? I slow my oscillations, drag my feet to a stop. Sure you can. I felt uplifted, carried away by my perfect fairy tale, predestined to soar through a life rich in fiction. Okay, thank you. And now our lovely first performer is Morgaihne Huntress. Welcome, Morgaihne.
Hello, thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Morgaihne Huntress, and if I can get this to sit, I'm going to be performing 2 poems. The first one is called Life. I actually wrote this during the pandemic, and I haven't revisited it in a while, so I hope you enjoy it. Life is messy. Life is sweet. Life is like a 2-way street. It's paved in blood and sweat and tears. It's blurred by laws and blurred by fears. There is no map to lead the way. You'll oft be lost at end of day. Then, in the morn, the world seems bright, if you make it through the night. Some live long and some die young. Some live well and some are hung. We never can be sure of this. One day's horrid, another's bliss. Some will say these conflicts do lessen once we've had a few. 'Tis not my view, but this I know. Life feels anew after cruel blow. Like a boxer in the ring, sometimes life hits with a sting. Down for the count. Rise up, my friend. There may be light at the next bend. For when we meet another foe, we feel release when it doth go. I've learnt that if we want to grow, we must abide life's ebb and flow. It breaks us, yes, with crushing weight, but leaves unlocked another gate. Few paths it paves barring death will halt us if we take a breath. Look around you, use your brain. Not all that's lost is gone in vain. Change, you see, is part of life. One cannot live without the strife. So don't give up. You'll find your way. You can make it through another day. Night's often worse, but you are strong. Life's cruel beauty does not last long. It teaches us, if we let it. Though you may doubt it, don't forget it. Some lessons take an age to learn. If you trudge on, you shall not burn. Thank you. I'm extremely parched, so excuse me. This next poem is called Worth. It's part of my most recent production, All Sorts Purpose. What value has it? One life. Pray tell, who determines wrongness from right? If wickedness happens in the dead of the night, when all inside windows are darkened, sans light, can we then ignore humanity's blight? Or bombs in the sky as our governments fight? This pains me to see. Does it pain thee? I know I'm not alone. Others are bothered. They don't condone the cruelty, oppression, hate, and much more. None of us knows how to settle the score. So we do what we can, try to get through. I help when I can. I bet you do too. If you do not, well, love, start today. Set top examples, then in old age you'll say, I did my best. I helped what I could. Hopefully the changes I made are for good. Only time will tell, and I won't be here. The mess that is left is for the younger ones, dear. Then, With shaky breath, you pause to reflect. Did you do enough? Nothing's perfect. You did all you could, and you improved. That took hard work you did. You moved your tuchus, gave something back to this earth. That love has value. That love has worth.
Thank you, Morgaihne. That was change can be a part of life. That's my mantra when I talk to my kids. Change is a part of life. You know, it's sometimes it's good, sometimes it's rotten, but it's normal. And so it's beautiful because it's good to be alive. Yes, it is. And Morgaihne, not only could I listen to your voice all, 24/7, but I also love the sign language you were using with that second poem. That was gorgeous. Thank you, thank you. Let's give her a nice round of applause. Thank you. And now, Gothbro. Gothbro's coming up. Thank you.
I'm just going to play a song I wrote. It's called Blue Punk Moon. Blue Punk Moon, yeah. I guess that's okay. Thank you, FCTV, and hello, Falmouth, and the world, and everyone. Okay. Here we go. I met you on a sandy beach. First impression don't mean a thing if you really don't care what your friends think. Meet me again when yesterday will be just fine. You got me mesmerized. For some reason I'm not shy. Under the blue punk The ones who were slow are fast again. The one who is low winds up saving our skin. Now isn't it ironic? It makes me sick, but I don't want to quit on society just yet. In a car chase neck and neck, and just in time we get away. Said, blue punk moon, I see you shine. Had a dream that you were mine. Lit up lavender, the sunset sky. Ocean waves above them, we both fly. in time. First or last don't mean a thing. Winter passing into spring. Summertime, we dance and sing our song. We be jamming all night long. Till the blue punk moon fades into the dawn. Thank you, Falmouth. Love you, Falmouth. All right.
Thank you, Godpro. Oh my gosh. That was amazing. I especially like that when you reach the peak of the mountain, talk about soaring with your voice and the music together right near the end of the song. Wow, wow, wow. That was fabulous. Blue Punk Moon. Blue Punk Moon. All right, now for something a little different. Our friend John Jackson is here tonight. John, so nice to see you with your lovely bride.
Oh, excuse me. In honor of 3 years of Zoom, I forgot to unmute. First full day of summer, that's right. I'm exhausted and must look a fright. It happens this way. I had a very long day followed up with a very short night. Limericks is mostly my gig, so let's do a few. Consider the donut and cruller, similar flavor and texture and color. The cruller is whole, the donut has a hole, without which it would be much duller. But mostly what I do are limericks of protest, topical limericks about the news. So let's take a brief look at what happened in the past month. When the debt ceiling tops off the list, finger pointing is hard to resist. But it's time someone said it. We're a nation on credit, spending money that does not exist. Juliet asked, what's in a name? Ivanka Kushner does not sound the same. Was Jared pushing her to be Mrs. Kushner? Does her patronym now bring her shame? The Donald is spending his riches on his crack legal team, which is spending the day at the DOJ, saying, don't hunt my client, hunt witches. Canadian wildfires smoke, causing U.S. East Coast to choke. Better use beyond number, such as syrup and lumber from the maple, the fir, and the oak. Guest of honor, one should be delighted, attending a party when one is invited. Little innocent lamb, he will go to Miami. In other words, he's been indicted. When air quality is the poorest, that's when my lungs are the sorest. Some friends I know take a cigarette break. I just smoked a whole pack of Forest. Good help, they say, is hard to find. Many Florida attorneys have declined the biggest trial of the year for the well-reasoned fear that their strategies would be undermined. A bipartisan group would turn tables on a third party known as No Labels, fearing the outcome of a Biden-Trump rerun with more votes leaving Biden's stables. The Emancipation Proclamation wasn't read. In Texas until Juneteenth, it said, "Freedom decreed but not guaranteed. George Floyd, so many others, still dead." Party hacks would keep an eye on any president's scion. They would like to repeal Hunter Biden's plea deal. Let's give them a shoulder to cry on. Two that didn't make the cut, but we've got time. Attributed to the Duke of Condé, no man is a hero to his valet. But indicted of crime, facing Fed prison time, on the stand might now to say. I have no idea how to pronounce Trump's valet's name, but there you go. Jack Teixeira's future looks bleak. He's the guy behind the big Discord leak. I hope he regrets leaking classified secrets. It would be big news any other week. That one I did drop because it's not one of my stronger ones. But who knows about the big Discord classified secrets leak? One hand out of the audience. Two. Okay. My wife, she would because I told her. Fellow leaked a whole bunch of documents on social media. He was working as Air National Guard at Joint Base Cape Cod. That makes this local news, which is a really poor segue into something I wrote on a Monday morning about very local news. The seals said hello as they passed, but they didn't really stop to chat. We tried to talk with the turtle, but as usual, she didn't say anything. The otter spoke with us at length, with a voice like a New York gangster, all violence and cigarettes. He told us that turtles do not speak above water after the babies are born. He was going to tell us more. He gave the impression that he didn't approve of what the turtle says underwater, all rumors and complaints. And then the alarm went off. Another Monday morning of leaving home and wife. From our bedroom, we can see just a sliver of the bay, a ship at anchor. The Cape Cod Canal is closed. 3 right whales are playing between the bridges, and I wonder if they would talk with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. You always keep us up to date on what's been going on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And he always keeps us laughing, right? Let's see. Oh, Elaine Robinson, who I have not seen since before the pandemic. So welcome back, my dear.
My poetic muse is a mermaid. She's very active lately, of course, with the release of the movie, The Little Mermaid. But she sends my way poems about either nature or fantasy. So 4 short poems, 2 about some really beautiful creatures of nature, and of course 2 about a mermaid. So first we start with Beluga's Smile. She smiles with a happy heart. I stand and observe, doing my part. Gorgeous beluga, spirit of water, enter my soul, beloved daughter. Landlocked mermaid aspires to understand and admire. A brilliant whale, a cetacean of beauty. I long to protect you, my ambitious duty. The world is harsh, fierce, cold. Grin at me, a sea angel to behold. Next poem is about a sea dragon. Swimming in my watery place, tail gliding, full of grace, red, yellow, orange, and green, strong in heart, often unseen. Breathing fire I do not exhale, brushing past the mighty whale. I may be tiny, but I am no minion. The ocean is vast, It is my dominion. And then we move on to the mermaid. We have some mermaid thoughts here. Sitting on coral, tail in the sea, long flowing hair, oh so pretty. She thinks of music, seahorses and whales, but mostly she dwells on human tales. Do they really exist? A wayward myth with a twist? Handsome men seeking treasure? She listens to stories with pleasure. Mermen, sea dragons, humans not seen, so she fantasizes. Her imagination is keen. And then let's have a mermaid who soars. Okay. She swims in the sea with such grace. Fish gather around her. It is her happy place. But from time to time, her heart belongs above. Magic transforms her, becoming a white dove. High above the earth she soars, observing all life below. She makes mental notes, so sea creatures will know. There is so much life she teaches upon return. In descriptive detail, one must be willing to learn. But the feeling of gliding high above a watery world gives her powerful insight. Downward she dives, knowledge unfurls. It's the mermaid.
Thank you, Elaine. That's next time I go to the ocean, I think I'm going to look for mermaids, you know. And how nice that John's Cape Cod ocean poem came just before the mermaid poems. That was a really nice segue there. Let's see. Oh, Ron Zweig, come on up.
Good evening, and thank you, FCTV, for this opportunity and for the Poetic license creators and the all of you being here, especially. It's wonderful, and all of you out there, wherever you may be. It's a delight to be here, and I basically, for many years, I had pets and things in the house, and they made my heart soar, basically, with joy, and that was for decades, actually. But for the past many years, most of my pets have been outdoor pets, you know, birds and the other creatures that all survive around my bird feeders, which are pretty diverse in terms of who they attract. So that brought me to thinking of the birds soaring and whatnot. But I've written a poem that has to do more with an event that occurred in my yard. It happens almost daily, actually. But the poem is called Red Encounter. This is really, I'm a real newbie at this. I've done some theater and things. I played, of all things, Toto in The Wizard of Oz in Woods Hole in 1974. So it's been a while. But anyway, here I am before an audience, which is it seems like it's the first time in a way. So I'll read this. So the poem again is called Red Encounter. And a fox, wry with caution, eyes me and remains certain in his step. Proudly determined from the freshness of a spring wood, has firmly gripped in his jaw a limp, recently lifeless squirrel, still. Within its grayness, soon to be a feast. A vixen and her 4 kits, hungry, impatient, wait to be nourished with the strength from his silent cunning. Now, by the offering from his stealth arrival, those pangs will dissipate with more definitive, soaring optimism assured. Then, suddenly my being reawakens, this time within his eye, placing me in a world of driven passion, so elemental and unknowing. To what, I must ask? Is that the primal essence of all we desire and do? Think no more. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you for your first visit to FCTV and having the courage to stand up and share that beautiful poem. It just makes me think about, how lucky we are to live on Cape Cod, surrounded by all the critters, especially the squirrels that are trying to get into my house at this point. But let's see. Oh, Patricia Austin. So happy to see you face to face, my dear.
Can you hear me? Is this good? Okay. All right. Well, I've got 3 short poems that have to do with soaring, it seems to me, or landing, or flying, or whatever. So the first one is, angels are not happy, for they deal with disappointment all their lives, seeing us as we are. There is a sigh of sadness in the background of their moments, thanking God for their wings to rise above our cruelty. They wish for us and wave hello from the height of our reality, reaching down, yet never able to touch the pain. Can you hear me? Because I'm noticing people can't. Can you hear me? Okay, all right. Well, this is actually for Ron, I think. This is called In the Time of Wakening. In the time of wakening, coming to the world of senses, blinded to the largeness of sight, which comprises complications of dimensional dwarfing. There is the awareness of a scent, completely unrecognizable in the collision of worlds, all too familiar. The sound and vibration of a mysterious motor, the sound no one can surmise. What is that? And how is it made? Does anyone yet know the answer? The sucking swoosh of the downspout? Or is that purely psychological? Accompanied by slide along body's sidearm, cold, wet, nostrils sniffing, nostrils. Oh, it's the cat, sniff kissing to consciousness, the giant creature it commands, rendering return to the tiny, wordless, yet emphatic. I'll take that breakfast. Me now. Any objections? Oh, by the way, you may want to check my box. All right, and the consensus was the fairies. Okay. This is called The Search for Fairies. Are there fairies? I don't know. What is a fairy? According to my favorite book, the dictionary, a fairy is imaginary, a miniature humanoid with magical powers, emerging from the folklore of the mind of man. Emerging from the mind of man. But doesn't everything emerge from the mind of man? According to my go-to guy, Plato, before there is the cup, there is the idea of the cup. The idea of the cup emerging from the mind of man. And now we have millions of cups. We have coffee cups and teacups, measuring cups and cups of sugar, cups filled with cider and hot chocolate and metaphors from the mind of man. A cup of happiness. A cup of bitter tears. A cup of sorrows. A cup of poison. But getting back to fairies, a miniature humanoid with magical powers and wings. I have never seen a picture of a fairy, albeit imaginary, without wings. Wings to rise and ride the wind. Wings to soar with the angels and the eagles. Wings to hide in the treetops and snuggle with the squirrels and commune with all the other little winged flying creatures in nature, with the birds and the bats and the bees and the ladybugs and the dragonflies and the just plain flies. What a perspective on the land of man and the behavior emerging from the mind of man. We shoot the birds, stomp on the bugs, swat the flies, exterminate the inconvenient and uncomfortable. If I were a fairy with wings to fly, I would try and try, really try, to stay away from the human eye, which may be why we rarely, if ever, some say never, see them. That's it.
Thank you, Patricia. That was delightful, especially the fairy that rhymes with dictionary. That was great. Thank you. Sean Crehan is going to play a mandolin for us today. I'm so happy.
Hello, my name is Sean, and there are a few things that make me feel like I'm flying. One is my wife, and the other is this mandolin. It's gotten me through some very hard times and some very inspirational moments. And this piece is called Variations on a Basque Melody by Victor Kalafides. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. The mandolin is such a poignant instrument, and I could feel my heartstrings vibrating with the mandolin. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you for that. And now, my friend so full of light, Sue Beth Carlson.
This is called light reflecting. Where does light come from? Is it underwater? Is it in the tail of a firefly? Multiplying? Or in flickering flames of music from a bonfire at the beach? In the energy of a labyrinth? Light reflecting can refract into colors or reflect onto another. But where does it originate? Is it in the expansive and distant stars? Can it be captured in a lamp or inside my soul? Is it what calls me out or what makes me whole? Is the light holding me in its gentle embrace, or is it emanating from me? Is it some kind of protective force shield, or is it fluid, ethereal? Does it infuse into me like the scent of a warm blueberry pie drifting down from the sky? Is it diffuse as the word love, or focused and clear as two moonbeams? Is it real, or is it illusion? The sun shares its light with the moon, which beams light through the air, then spills into ripples on the water. Ah, now I know. The source is everywhere. He was the warm day in sunlight, shivering, soothing, welcoming, ever-present, and simply beautiful. I just wanted to mention that there was mermaids in there. Did the mermaid girl see that? And the birds were soaring at the end, so that was my ode to soaring too.
Thank you, Sue Beth. And thank you for all you do with children, bringing light to little children and people all the way up to 120 years old. Just a very light-spirited friend. Well, I'm going to close with a poem that's... Does anybody else like Stephen Colbert? Watch Stephen Colbert? Okay, well, Stephen Colbert's questionnaire always said, one of the questions is, aisle or window? And the title of my poem is Window Seat. Window seat. I glide the heavy panel up beneath the Boeing's belly towards the second star on the right. Clouds reach for a faux horizon where sugar plums dance in the glisten of dawn light. Fearless of flight, I feel heaven is within walking distance. Do I dare throw my leg over the sill? Tightrope along the wing? Dive onto the quilt of snowy sky fluff to become a Peter Pan bird where wingless I am buoyed by beauty from above and below. Thank you. Well, as you probably know, the edited performance will be shown on FCTV's Channel 13, as well as the YouTube channel. If you have Apple TV or Roku, it's available on there. They were going to get the word out. People are going to see you. I had someone at the library when I donated books a couple weeks ago say, I know you. You're the lady with the flower earrings. So anyway, people do watch it, and it's wonderful. And friends, speaking of watchers, if you would like to join FCTV's Poetic License, be on the lookout. Our next performance will be August. I'm so sorry, I forgot to look up the exact date. It's usually the third or fourth Thursday of every month. You can sign up by sending a text to Tony Sedera, our wonderful producer. His email is tony@fctv.org. Thank you again, Tony, for your wonderful help. He's our producer and our editor of this show. Thank you, cherished performers, all of you, for being here tonight. A very special night when we return to the studio here. And I want to say peace and shine on until we see you again, okay? Thank you for your participation.